10 investigates tonight. An investigation is underway into the emergency response to a crash that killed a Morrow County husband and wife. The crash happened June 30th. Elizabeth and Kenneth Bush died after the ATV they were in was struck by an SUV in front of their home. 10 TV has learned the closest first responders to the scene might not have responded at all. 10 TV's Glenn McEntyre has been digging for days and tells us what he uncovered in Morrow County.
911, where's your emergency?
We've got a Jeep hit a SUV on 95. It's a Kubota 4x4.
911 calls and crash scene photos from the State Highway Patrol recreate the awful scene along State Route 95 the night of June 30th.
2 victims?
Yeah, we've got 2. We've got one in the ditch here. He's breathing, but it's labored. And we've got another gentleman who's just come out of the vehicle. So, yeah, it's pretty bad.
The operator wastes no time in dispatching medics to the scene.
Station 19.
Bad. It was bad.
Squad 1, Squad 2, EMS 9, respond to 2661 Ferret 95 for a serious MVA, 2 vehicles involved.
The 911 caller then discovers a third victim.
Oh, my God. Yeah, this is... Yeah.
Okay, Doug, I'm going to let you go so I can get my units on their way, okay?
Okay, hurry.
All right.
The urgency was clear. Run sheets obtained by 10 TV show the call came in at 8:13. EMS 9, Squad 1, and Squad 2 were en route from EMS headquarters 4 minutes later. An additional crew, Squad 4, was requested and was en route from Cardington at 8:21. Sources tell 10 TV there was another ambulance that was closer to the scene than any other, but did not respond. Squad 3 was at this Kroger, having just refueled when the call came out. According to Google Maps, Squad 3 was 2.3 miles from the scene, a 3-minute drive. Morrow County EMS says Squad 3 was not dispatched to the call, but that's because dispatchers weren't aware of its location. The question is, in a literal life-and-death situation when every second counts, do the closest medics have a duty to respond? Morrow County EMS Captain Kent Miller tells 10 TV crews are only required to respond if dispatched, but says if a crew is aware they are close to an emergency scene, I would expect them to notify dispatch and respond. As one staffer told 10 TV, even if the rules don't require them to respond, there is a moral obligation. The first medic on scene was EMS 9 at 8:22, followed by Squad 1 and then Squad 2 at 8:25. Kenneth and Elizabeth Bush were both airlifted to OSU and later died. Could Squad 3 have gotten there faster than the others? Would it have made a difference? If anyone knows those answers, tonight they aren't saying. Glenn McEntyre, 10 TV News.
We want to point out Morrow County EMS officials will only tell 10 TV they're conducting an investigation into the crash response. EMS there is run by the Morrow County Firefighter and Squadsman Association, a private subcontractor with Morrow County. Because of that private status, the association is refusing to release any records related to the investigation or any discipline that might have resulted. Morrow County commissioners have selected MedFlight to take over EMS operations for the county at the end of this year.
New at 6, new developments in a story 10 Investigates broke last week. A Morrow County EMS employee is out of a job tonight, fired over questions about the emergency response to the crash that killed Kenneth and Elizabeth Bush. Though it's not clear whether their lives could have been saved, the closest first responders didn't respond at all. Tonight's 10 TV Glenn McEntyre shows us it's bringing some changes in personnel and policy.
911, where's your emergency?
We've got a Jeep hit a SUV on 95. It's a Kubota 4x4.
This is the call made to Morrow County EMS at 8:13 p.m. on June 30th. The caller told the operator of 3 victims. 2 of them, husband and wife Kenneth and Elizabeth Bush, both critically injured.
Okay, Doug, I'm going to let you go so I can get my units on their way, okay?
Okay, hurry.
All right.
4 minutes later, EMS 9 and Squad 1 were en route from EMS headquarters. Squad 2 was en route from Cardington. An additional call put Squad 4 on the road at 8:21. Closer than all of them was Squad 3, parked 2.3 miles or a 3-minute drive from the scene. Yet Squad 3 didn't respond. Last week, EMS officials told 10 TV Squad 3 wasn't required to respond because it wasn't dispatched to that call. But that's because dispatch wasn't aware of Squad 3's location. This week, an official says that policy is being changed to require units to notify dispatch if they're close to an emergency scene. Today, the Morrow County Firefighter and Squadsman Association released this statement to 10 TV. After a thorough investigation, we found just cause to terminate one employee, and a second employee has received a written warning. But the association will say nothing else, citing its status as a private entity not subject to public records laws. Morrow County Commissioner Tom Whiston says that's not good enough.
Even though they're a private, entity doing work for us, it's public service. And I think, as you say, the public does have a right to know certain things.
He has requested association records related to the investigation.
We'll get the minutes and, we'll provide those to you, and we'll get a better understanding of, documentation of what occurred and hopefully what we can do to correct this in the future so that it doesn't happen again.
Glenn McEntyre, 10 TV News.
They were the closest medics to a crash that killed a husband and wife, yet chose not to respond. New records obtained by 10 TV connect the dots in a troubling investigation. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Hartman.
And I'm Jerry Ravish. It's a story 10 TV broke 2 weeks ago. First responders not responding at all. The crash happened in Morrow County on June 30th. Since then, the company has fired an EMT and changed its policies. 10 TV News reporter Glenn McEntyre joins us with new information you'll see only on 10 TV on exactly what happened that night.
Jerry, this has been a difficult story to get information on because the Morrow County Firefighter and Squadsman Association, which runs EMS in Morrow County, maintained it was a private subcontractor and not subject to public records laws. They have since turned those records over to us, and they spell out clearly what went wrong the night of June 30th. They are the people who respond in an emergency, like the horrible June 30th collision that killed Kenneth and Elizabeth Bush.
Station 19.
It was bad.
Squad 1, Squad 2, EMS 9, respond to 2661 Ferret 95 for a serious MVA, 2 vehicles involved.
As 10 TV first reported July 10th, 4 different crews were dispatched to the crash scene, 3 of them from Mount Gilead, 1 from Cardington. But one crew, Squad 3, was closer than any other, just 2.3 miles from the scene, and opted not to respond. This email from the paramedic on board Squad 3 confirms they were aware of the crash. We were at Kroger in Mount Gilead filling up. The run on State Route 95 went out. I got out of the truck and notified Carol that we should go. Her response was, we weren't dispatched. Squad 3 wasn't dispatched because EMS dispatchers weren't aware of its location. At the time, Morrow County EMS policy did not require crews to notify dispatch if they were close to an emergency scene. And no one on Squad 3 did until the next day when that paramedic emailed his supervisors about what had happened. That email sparked an internal investigation during which EMS officials suspended the EMT in question for 5 days. This employee warning form says she failed to respond to an emergency when she was the closest vehicle, again failed to respond when help was called for. During that investigation, EMS officials say the EMT lied about her location when the crash call came out. This fuel receipt shows they were at Kroger at 8:17 p.m., 4 minutes after the crash dispatch. EMS officials say that lie is why she was fired. The paramedic who blew the whistle was reprimanded with the notation, "The board agrees he did no wrong, but wish he would have been more proactive, such as picking up the radio and advising dispatch of their location." The incident also prompted this policy change. Crews are to monitor their radio for any run that gets dispatched. If your squad is in the general proximity to the run, you will notify dispatch of your location. Now, we have made several attempts to reach Carol Sayer, the EMT who was fired. She has not responded. We went through her personnel file and found mostly positive performance reviews. Sayer was written up in 2008 for carelessness. Her supervisor said while responding to a carbon monoxide run, she stopped at home to give her keys to her boyfriend. Glenn McEntyre, 10 TV News.